as an entrepreneur operating in a kind of a free market environment. You come up with an idea, you mobilise people, you get the job done, you move on to the next agenda.
But Guy Pope Mail of the Cookie Time Empire found it's not that easy when you're lobbying government for change. 2 years ago, the Pope Mails set up a foundation to get a better deal for children with dyslexia.
We know what it is to be the parents of dyslexic children, that it's very, very demanding. There's a lot of pain and frustration and anguish involved.
The Pope Mail's teenage sons, Elijah and Shay, both showed early signs of dyslexia. The basics of reading, writing, spelling and maths didn't click. The boys' difficulties at school was their motivation to set up the Dyslexia Foundation.
When you have a child who cries every morning, when you take them to school, as a parent, that's the most horrible, horrible feeling.
MRI scanning shows that people who have dyslexia actually read with a different part of their brain. Shay also has a form of autism. He made almost no progress in his first 2 years at school.
The big day was when Suzanne came down and said, I've just been on the internet and I'm sure Shay must be dyslexic. And it was this revelation. All of a sudden, all of the symptoms that we had been seeing so obviously, we now had a name.
Shay was moved to a local Montessori school and began a specialist program at the Dyslexia Foundation.
Can you remember that a word has 3 parts to it? It has what it looks like, that's how we write it, what it sounds like, that's how we say it, and what it means, and that's the meaning.
The Davis program uses visual connections to help kids understand abstract words like the and.
Do you know what the word the means? No. Can you get a picture? Any feeling, a sense at all for the word the?
No.
No, I know. And do you know what? There's 217 of those words like that we don't get pictures for. And we use them all the time when we're reading and all the time when we're writing.
Shay makes his own model to represent the. It's an image he'll be able to bring to mind when he gets stuck on the word.
So we've got here, that one which is here. Can you see this bit here, Shay? That one which is here. Usually people with dyslexia are very, very visual, and we often call them picture thinkers. So it's important that they can get a visual, an image, a sense, a feeling of what the words are about. And when we do that, we can thoroughly understand them.
EHT.
And forwards.
THE.
Okay. Now what you have got the inside your imagination now.
Shay now loves reading. Current favourites, the Lemony Snicket series.
It's about these 3 kids whose parents die, and they're orphans. So but then they find this other man who they go and live with for like the first book, and but he's trying to kill them so he can get their fortune.
The Pope Mails say Shay's school tried to help, but like most teachers, they didn't have the knowledge of dyslexia or the training to get him through it.
Because they didn't understand that dyslexia isn't just difficulties, it's an alternative way of thinking, it's the way the brain works. They didn't have the understanding necessary to really accommodate and make the best of the situation.
Dyslexia takes many forms.
No one dyslexic child represents all the same symptoms, like they're all different. Shay can read brilliantly, but his spelling really trips him up. And for Elijah, spelling was the dominant element. So as the child goes through the intervention, they actually learn that they can't learn very well, that they're not good, and that frustration and that sense of failure, sense of less than, creates the real disability, the real challenge of dyslexia, which is self-esteem.
Shay has always lacked confidence. His brother Elijah found success in sport. He's left school and is training as a snowboard instructor. On the slopes, his visual thinking is an advantage.
Just helps to get the go for it and just get committed for it, being able to see yourself doing it before you go.
The Pope Mails decided they couldn't wait any longer for government funding. The Dyslexia Foundation launched its own initiative called 4D.
And what 4D is it's a program to make a school dyslexia aware so that difficulties that are caused in the classroom can be overcome.
Hey Elijah, Shay, love.
More than 100 schools have signed up for the program.
4D is about empowerment, it's about collaboration, it's about bringing teachers together, schools together, ultimately the ministry to the table. And I think then we're going to see real progress.
And it's a sure bet the Pope males won't rest until they've achieved that goal.